Okay, this is my 2025 Ram 1500 with the inline 6 twin turbo SST, 420 horse, 476 torque. I thought I was free of problems, but I'm starting to get some problems. For one, this is really the first time I've even opened the hood and looked at it very much, because it's been nasty weather since I bought it. And the first thing I noticed is that my main radiator line is almost cracked. I mean, without me splitting that anymore, I don't want to, but feeling on it, it's pretty deep of a crack. The other thing is my coolant levels are all on minimum. None of them are on maximum. Both of these little coolant reservoirs, well, this one's in between minimum and maximum, but my main coolant is definitely on minimum, and that shouldn't be on there at all. So a little concerned about that. Plus, when you first start her up, I mean, you hear the sound she's making now as she's warming up. When you first start her up, I wish I'd have had this recording. It makes such a loud clanking noise, almost like a major exhaust leak, and can't quite figure it out. I told my guy at the dealership I bought it from that it needed, the transmission's doing some weird things, especially in low speed. It's like it can't find the gear when you're slowing down, or even when you're taking off. It's like it can't find the right gear. And I know there's a transmission update out on these. I keep close tabs on everything about this truck. I'm a die-hard Mopar fan, and I'm, like a lot of you diehards, are subscribed to multiple channels, especially about this truck. Now, I do know it's got its main battery and its auxiliary battery. As far as having issues with those, like some people have had with screens blacking out and stuff like that, my screen has only blacked out one time and went wacky, but it did one time and went wacky, had all kinds of lights come on. I simply turned the truck off, turned it back on, they were all gone, and it seemed fine. Now, I mean, I love the truck. The truck is powerful. It more powerful than any of my other Hemis that I had. I will say that the gas mileage that they advertise is a complete joke. I don't get that by any stretch of the imagination unless you're just grannying this thing around with no stoplights and no stop signs. But I do have a manufacturing flaw. It's hard to see, but my door is not lined up. The best way to see it is right here, where the two doors line up. You can see how the driver's doors drop below, especially right here where the driver's doors drop below. Well, when I open this door, it rubs right here. You hear it? And you see where it's rubbed the paint off the truck? It's done that since the day I bought it, because I notified my salesman of that the very next day, that it was rubbing. So it's fixed to go in for an early oil change, and I'm going to get them to adjust that door. My hood is also out of adjustment. I'll show you that real quick, and then we'll open her back up. But let's say you're looking at the hood. Let's look down this side. You see that line? See that gap? It's quite a big gap. A cigarette will literally fall through that gap. It's so big. Then you go over this side, and that gap is half that other gap. And if you see, it even kind of sticks out a little here, like my finger drops off there, to where on this side it's the opposite. My finger comes down to go on this hood. So somehow they've got the hood out of alignment. Not sure how. You can slightly tell even in the front that there's more gap on the left side of the screen right now if you're looking at it than there is on the right side. So the hood is definitely not in full alignment. Other than those two exterior things, there's nothing else wrong with the exterior. I've walked it over a million times. It has a bed cover on it now, of course. No issues with any of that. I do tow with the truck. The most that I tow at period is 5,000, and that's if I tow that. And honestly, I haven't towed that yet with this truck. So this truck has only experienced about 3,500 pounds of towing for work. We have a little cargo trailer that we have to go pick up product in. And of course I use my truck to do all that. But this door is perfectly lined up, like perfect. You see how perfect that line is? Same with the top. It's just perfect, and it does not rub by any stretch. There's no rubbing down here where they join, none of that. So the driver's door is definitely out of alignment. So we're definitely gonna have to get that fixed immediately. But like I said, if you look at this one compared to the passenger side we just looked at, that's not lined up by any stretch, nor is it up here. So we're definitely gonna have to get that looked at. Plus the rubbing off the paint. And I ain't gonna lie, the rubbing of the paint and the clicking is what made me catch it the night I was leaving the dealership. When I stopped at a gas station to get a drink, I come back out and noticed it. So I hadn't even made it home from the dealership yet before I noticed that. So this driver's door needs to be lifted up somehow. And I think it kind of needs to be lifted and tilted a little bit somehow. I'm not sure, how they're going to have to do that, but they're going to have to figure that out. Because I'm not going to accept it like that. I'm not going to deal with that. I'm not going to have that be a worry of mine as I drive this truck. Like I said, 90% of driving is great. Wonderful power, much more powerful than my last Timmy. But for example, my last Timmy on the highway, it's the way it was geared. It was a BTS edition. The best mileage I could get was about 19 on the highway, pulling nothing. Pulling, it would drop this bad boy down from 8 to 10. And of course, that's my old Ram. Now, this one, it's worse. On the highway, at 75 miles per hour, I'm lucky if I can get 19 or 20 miles per gallon out of this vehicle. And that's on a straight highway at 70 miles an hour with the cruise on. Cruise off, same thing. It does not get the 24 that the window sticker said it would get. That's a big problem. That's a lie. And that might cause Dodge a lawsuit if enough people complain about it. And towing my work trailer with just 3,500 pounds, I'm getting 8, sometimes 9 in this thing. Tows it just fine, pulls it just fine, but still 8 and 9. So gas mileage wise, I have not gotten any better from the Hemi to this, period. Power wise, I've gotten a lot better, but if the motor's gonna have its own issues and detonate itself, or parts coming off or parts coming loose, I mean, I'm not happy with that either. We're gonna pop the hood again. See, you can even hear that door rub every time I open it. Of course, it's got level 2, so it's loaded up nicely. It's got nice interior. It's basically loaded with just about everything but sunroof and leather. Interior is pretty much identical to the old trucks, except for some changes in basic features that they used to not give you, that you had to pay for, that now is set, like adaptive cruise control. We've got drive modes over here, heated and cooled. So I mean, it's got a lot of options. The price I paid for it, even with discount, was rather high. Wasn't happy about that. But let's open it back up. So another thing I noticed too today, this is your hood latch that lets it know if the hood is open or not. And it literally feels like it's about to fall out. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's a screw up underneath there, you know, up underneath here that needs to be tightened. But this literally feels like it's about to fall out. So I'm going to have them address that as well. But, you know, this is its normal running sound. I bet we got some pressure on this now. We do. Makes me scared to even stand on this side, because if that cut or gash goes, I'm going to get sprayed with very hot coolant. I mean, that's a big gash for a brand new truck. I've probably had this hood open 3 times, and that was just showing people the motor. So, again, brand new. I bought it less than 90 days ago. We're currently sitting at 2,274.9 miles. So, I mean, it broke in, but the scary part is all the forums and groups I follow basically tell me that this is about the time you start seeing all kinds of issues. Guys, I'm not kidding with you when I say, I know people get on forums just to bitch, but you can't find hardly anybody saying anything good about the motor. That most everybody's had some kind of issue with the motor, whether it be in having the auxiliary batteries replaced, or this replaced, or that replaced. So, I don't drive it like a grandma. When I say that, I don't floor it everywhere I go, of course. But I mean, I don't sit here and try to baby it. It's a truck. I drive it just like I've driven every one of my other trucks that have really never ever broke down on me or had any issues. Coolant level does have me concerned. I mean, why am I so low on coolant on a brand new truck? The noise concerns me a little bit too. I just feel like it shouldn't sound this clicky, this ticky, if that makes sense. So I'm definitely concerned about that. Now I get it's all under full warranty, you know what I mean? They're gonna have to take care of everything that goes on with the thing. I even ended up buying a wrap warranty on top of that, but I'm not gonna also deal with a truck that's in the shop all the time. So I'm gonna give them their chance to rectify some things, but I can assure you, if it's in and out of the shop over and over and over, Dodge will be buying it back. Ram, whatever. Just the noise doesn't seem right to me. And again, I've got levels that shouldn't be low like they are. Brake level seems just fine. As far as that goes, like the brake, how much brake fluid you're supposed to have in it. But coolant levels do not. And again, I mean, these are even your bump stops that keep it from, you know, that set your hood, basically your hood level, they're loose as all get out. So, I mean, I don't know what Dodge is doing over here or what they're not doing, but they need to figure it out. Dodge, Ram, Mopar. We'll just say Mopar. How about that? It just seems like a lot of clicking. So when we figure it all out, we'll get it figured out. But until then, there it is. My 2025 Dodge Ram 1500 Bighorn Level 2 with the SST. The straight 6 turbo. Straight 6 twin turbo, that is. It's got twin screw turbos in it. So they've actually had a problem where those were exploding. literally grenading themselves. They're down here on this side, both of them. Both twin turbos are sitting right on top of each other. So, I mean, I definitely haven't had my turbos grenade yet. I've ran it through some paces, I can tell you that, but just little things that are quite concerning that I never had on my other Rams. I used to be a Ram dealer. The salesman that sold me this knows that as well. So I have seen a lot of Rams. I have owned, this is my 5th Ram that I've owned in the last 8 years. My 5th. So I can tell you that none of them did this. None of them did this. None of them ever had low coolant. I can't think of one time I ever popped the hood on any of my Hemis and it had low coolant. And, you know, low coolant there. And they don't give you a dipstick to check your oil. You got an oil level light that you can look at inside. Strangest thing, you know, most guys like me, most mechanical engineered guys like to look at their oil, feel it, you know, see if there's any shiny specks in it and smell it. But Dodge Ram doesn't allow you to do this on this truck. The only way you can check the fuel level is to go up here to your vehicle info or your oil level. You got your coolant temp, trans temp, of course, all the basic stuff, oil pressure. That's another thing about this truck. It runs extremely low pressures. When I say extremely low, one day I was slowing down and low oil pressure illuminated this whole center for about 30 seconds and then went away. But it was at 21 PSI when that happened. I don't really pay attention to it much, but just sitting here at idle, it's 24 PSI. Now I imagine it's designed to run on much lower oil pressure, but as you know, Hemis were high pressure. Heck, my last Hemi would hit 70 PSI when you had it floored. So another concerning thing is that oil pressure is so low, and the fact I actually had an oil pressure light come on. But that's your oil life, and that's your oil level. So they're expecting you to go off a gauge to check your oil like a dipstick. So, and as you can see, mine's not full. I mean, it's right at the red line, but it's technically not full. So am I burning oil that quick? Is it burning oil at 2,200 miles? I swear I remember looking at this when I bought it and it was all the way full. I can't say that for fact, but in my mind, in memory, I remember scrolling through this and seeing, oh, there's the oil level and that it was full. Now all of a sudden it's not full, so just a little concerning. Some things on the truck that I'm definitely going to get checked out. And I mean, that's all the hours on the vehicle. It's only has 92 hours of runtime. That's with idle and driving. So it's not like this vehicle has got 70,000 miles on it and got some issues. She is brand new. I mean, so brand new, I just registered it. We have 60 days here in Arkansas and I just registered it. So, anyhow, just thought I'd share my thoughts on the Ram 1500 SST and what it's been doing lately. Again, I don't want the motor to blow up, but that is what warranties are for. I feel like I've bought it from a dealer that will take care of me and fix all the issues. If they won't, I will definitely let y'all know. And if they give me any flack or issues over anything, I'll blast them on Facebook myself and my other social media channels that they're not taking care of me. But we'll see. Haven't been that far yet. Like I said, it hasn't been back to the dealership since the day I bought it. I have 2 Dodge dealers within 20 minutes of me right here, and both of them, I'm not going to name their names, had horrible prices, gave me horrible trade-in price, and wasn't willing to take near off the truck as the dealer I bought this truck from. And again, I don't want to mention their name yet because they're the ones that are going to have to make right on this, because it'll be going right back out to them. So anyhow, these are my issues with the truck. And if anybody else owns one of these trucks, pay attention to the things I just showed you. You know, fit and finish things, and especially the motor things. And make sure that you're getting a solid truck. All right, guys. This is Joseph, and I'm out. Let's go ahead and kill it.